the big dog of Baradin Hold.
Convert to Raid presents Occu'thar, a ravenous demon dog from the bowels of Baradin Hold. This angry poodle broke free of its cage and gained access to the western wing of the prison. He's not just eating Alpo, he's eating you. Now this dog is more than just sniffing butts. He has access to various skills and abilities that make him a worthy challenge to raiders as they progress into Tier 12 content.
All right, let's talk about the big dog of Baradin Hold, Occu'thar, and he's got a lot of eyes. But Solar, let's get the rundown of what we can expect going into the west wing of Baradin Hold.
That was awesome, by the way. A3 says he wants to go attend a monster truck rally right now. But,
Coltrane, you did a great job on that.
Oh, thanks. You too, Zach. That was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Let's talk about what we can expect. Those Solar. What are we coming up against?
One phase fight, Baradin Hold, pretty darn suit and easy. Intended to be a loot pinata. He's got 27 mil in 10 man, 81 mil in 25 man. And what's going to happen is it's a 2-tank fight. 2 tanks. You can, I'd go with 3 healers for right now and 5 DPS. And what you do?
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, that seems appropriate for now anyway.
Right.
But, he's going to summon eyes throughout the fight, and they have 165,000 health, and they sap your life. So you have to AoE him down. But he also is going to throw these things called focus fire on the ground, and it's where he targets this big circular pool on the ground, and you have to stand out of it. Now, this is where I differ with the strategy. What I ended up doing was we had the entire raid stack up with ranged, except for the 2 tanks who'd be tank swapping on the grates. So they would be split up, and everyone else would be on me. And we would all stay stacked together. So when the eyes spawned, we could easily AoE him down. I could throw my traps down, all that stuff. So... yeah, and when that's pretty much it. He ranges in 5 minutes. It's you got to get those ads down real fast though, because they can kill. It's about 10 seconds until you're dead. So, and if they're still up,
those eyes they can be pretty painful. It's 10 seconds, and then they detonate, dealing a huge amount of damage. That if there's a couple up, you might be able to heal through it, but if there's more than that, you're done.
Right. And for your tanks, what he does when it's a tank swapping, like I said, so it's a lot like Argaloth's Meteor Crash. This time it's called Searing Shadows. It's a frontal cone AoE, so make sure you're facing the boss away from your raid members, or else you're going to toast them. And and you just taunt back and forth off of every Searing Shadows, and you should have them down within about 4.5 minutes if DPS is pretty solid. Make sure you're getting those eyes down though, because those. You got to get your AoE on that. Right.
And what we did, ours was a little bit different from yours. You had everybody group up. And what we did, what Aethric and our team did, was we put tanks on either side of that metal grate that's in the middle, and one at the door side and one at the back wall side. And then we had our groups, like Group 1 and Group 2. We had Group 1 go left, Group 2 go right, spread out, and then when the eyes came, we would just converge into the center. We would converge right under Occu'thar, because it was an easy point to get at. We could spread out for those focus fires and still not be hit by any of the stuff that the tanks were getting. What is that called? The
Searing Shadows.
Searing Shadows. Right. And that seemed to work out pretty well once we got the dance down.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's I'm interested to see how the pug strategy is going to be, though. Like, how are the pugs going to do this when you get into their group? Because right now we've got 2 strategies for you.
Right.
Well, I have a bit of an issue here, gentlemen. First off, loot pinata, come on. Not all of us were able to successfully down Occu'thar. Now, hear me out. Now, when we tried them, we only were able to get in about 2 to 3 attempts because there were about 20 minutes left on Baradin Hold before we lost it. So it was quick and fast. But here was the issue that we had. We would spread out, and then when the eyes spawn, we would all run in the middle and start AoEing down the eyes as quickly as we can. The problem is we all group up. Time to DPS those eyeballs. And then he flips and turns and does that, void zone right in the middle of the group and wipes us. So how did you guys deal with that? Is it just like, were we not DPSing the eyes fast enough and then just spread back out? We're thinking that
That's kind of what I think. Like, I would like you to try the stacking up first, because right when those eyes are out, you're all where you need to be originally. And if your void zone drops, the eyes actually stay on you. So if your void zone drops, just move out of it, because it's on a specific raid member. So the reason why I'm thinking that you didn't have enough DPS is because, well, those two shouldn't happen at the same time. You'd be dead. So.
Right.
That's what was happening. Every time we get the eyes, we'd group up, and then he'd do the void zone right in the middle of us. And
I would say that's just bad RNG.
It seems like it, but it targets a certain raid member. So why would they have an Eye of Occu'thar on you and then put a void zone on you at the same time?
I think that's that he would do the eyes first. We would all gather up.
Right,
and then, I guess 10 seconds would go by or somewhere close. And then he would just, after, I don't know, about 6 or 7 seconds or something like that, he would flip and then cast that void zone on one of us. And we would all be right in the center because we're still AoEing down the eyes. We did read a strat that we might actually try, and I don't know if you guys agree, 2 healers on this. So there's more DPS, so we can DPS the eyes quicker and then spread out. I know.
I just don't know about that right now. I don't think that the healers are really going to be geared up enough. If you have eyes out, those healers won't be able to keep up.
Right.
They won't. And the same thing for the tank thing. When the tanks get hit, you know it as a healer. You absolutely know it.
Oh yeah.
You're busy trying to get them back up. So there is a trick to healing. I think right now, it's probably a 3 healer fight. You got to figure out how you're going to try to limit where those fire rings hit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the big thing on that one.
I heard too that the eyes don't go on the tanks. In theory, that the top 2 people on threat should not get eyeballs. So, but that's
not true.
Oh, that's not
true.
It's
not true.
Okay, we had a tank on the last set get one, and I was like, "Whoa!" Everybody on the tank.
Yep. So whoever is not tanking at the time should run into the center no matter what, because it can be really nasty. And I think that's one of the problems that we had when we first tried it. I think we did it 3 times, 8th?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think our off tank, like you said, whoever wasn't tanking at the time, I think both times we noticed that our off tank grabbed an eyeball. So
Right. And so, with our strat with converging under Occu'thar, there is some rigmarole because you always have those fire circles somewhere, and sometimes it's really inconvenient. But you should be able to work with that strat for a raid team that is making sure to look around, one that's aware of everything that's going on. I mean, you just really need to pay attention, especially the first couple of times you go through there.
One thing I think that would help, I noticed a couple of times it happened with us, is I think it'd be a good idea to develop a contingency plan where, which direction the group is going to move should a fire circle spawn. It happened to us a couple of times, and I noticed people just kind of scattered the first couple of times.
Yep.
So you really got to work out which direction the whole group is going to move in, should a circle appear.
Yep, you do need some communication. So you do have to be in vent right now before, I guess once there's a quote unquote pug strategy, I guess we'll figure it out then. But for right now, it helps to be with your raid team or be able to be in vent for it. So any final thoughts on Occu'thar?
As you can see, this is not a difficult encounter.
Look here, Captain.
It's not easy though. It's not. By no means is it easy. It's not easy at all. So, all right. Good luck with it, everybody out there. I hope that this helped you with Occu'thar.